Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 19. As always, here's our disclosures. They're for educational purposes only. I'm not providing any investment advice. It's not tailored to any one individual, and past performance does not guarantee any future results or success. All investment and trades involve risk, including the loss of your original principal. Another big week this week. We got some news coming up. I'll provide a market overview, and we got 1,425 companies reporting earnings. Pretty interesting week this week with the Fed not raising rates. Here's what we did. We had 36 zones. We weren't broke even on stocks, 2 and 2. Options, we went 2 and 1. No entry was 25 zones, and then things that closed and we're working on Friday were 4 zones, and those companies were Amazon, AMD, Expedia, and MasterCard. Here's next week's outlook. Again, a lot of earnings reporting. I got maybe about 25 companies I'll be showing zones for this week, so stay tuned for that. Now, people ask me what the Fed is doing and what impact that has on the market. So I'm going to start covering this once a month, but because it was asked of me. So this is what to expect in 12 June. We look at the probability chart of what if they'll raise interest rates next month, and the probability right now is 91% that they won't. So my estimation again is they're gonna leave us again this quarter, and then Q3 is gonna where things are gonna get interesting with the election, and Q3 and 4 is when they plan on raising rates. So that's gonna heavily impact the market. So stay tuned, and I'll continue to provide you with the probabilities of whether or not the Fed is gonna increase rates. Here's how we're looking on stocks. I went ahead and added week 18. Year to date, we're 29 and 19. And on the options front, I added week 18 and we are 59 and 13. So moving into our news for this week, a very light week of news. As you can see on Monday, we have nothing affecting the US markets. For those of you trading in Australian dollar futures and forex, be mindful you have a report in the after hours. Moving on to Tuesday, nothing at all affecting the US markets, nothing at all affecting the majority of the markets across the board. So it's going to be another quiet day when it comes to the news on Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday, another day that they're leaving us alone. So be mindful of that. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday going to be light days for our news. So pretty much nothing starts till Thursday. We got the British pound affected pre-market, and we got a bond auction 10 o'clock. So be mindful for those of you who trade the bonds and futures, and then for those of you who trade ETF products, be mindful we might have some volatility on the 30-year bond. Nothing affecting anything again. So after hours with the British pound on Thursday, and then Friday we have the consumer sentiment report 30 minutes into the opening. So very, very light week when it comes to earnings, and I'm pretty sure that they're leaving us alone because of what the Fed just did this past week, and that's gonna do things for us on the home front of news. So starting with the charts this week, we're going to start with the SPX, and I'm going to explain what happened with the Fed the other day just to show you the big movement of money during the Fed day. But in the interim, here's our SPX. The charts haven't changed. On the demand side, we got 49.55 to 49.06. And on the supply side, we got 51.60 to 52.22. Again, be mindful, this is another opportunity coming into some significant supply that has been established this year. If you want to add insurance to your portfolios, this would be the time to do so. If you don't know how to do that, feel free to give me a call or reach out to me to see if you want to sign up on learning how to put portfolio insurance on your 401ks and portfolios and things of that nature. With that being said, I'm going to go down to a 60-minute time frame so I can show you what happened when Fed Powell announced rates. So this was the announcement. So said wasn't going to raise rates. S&P 500, pretty much the SPX went from 520 all the way up to 590 or 70 points. That's a big move intraday. And then right afterwards, on the close of the market, all we did was give everything back. So there was a big exchange of money on that day. For those of you who don't realize what happened with the Fed. So just wanted to share that with you this week. But again, there was a big exchange of money um, on that day, given Fed Powell's announcements. All right, let's get back to it. So there goes your zones for the SPX. Moving on to the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ, the very next day after the Fed announced, we went up and down, and then Apple went ahead and released earnings, and it had a big day. Went from about one plus 14 points, and again, we're closing into supply. So did Apple. So I wouldn't be surprised if we this week we go down and try to fill this gap, and Apple go fill its gap as well. With that being said, the supply zone on the NDX is 17,950 to roughly 18,100, and then we have another level starting at the 18,100 level to 18, let's call it 500. On the demand side, we got 16,863 to 16,562. That's gonna do it for the Nasdaq. Moving on to the Dow Jones or the DJX. Here we go. We got on the demand side 374.67 to 370.18, and on the supply side 395.22 to 399.36. Moving on to the rut. What can I say? We've been in between our levels since December, and here we go again, staying within our realm. I just noticed this right now. I'm gonna give an aggressive level here for my experienced traders, and we're gonna do that. You can see we close into that again, just like Apple did. Again, expect the beginning of the week to possibly be down this week. So that level is going to be 2049, or just call it 2050 to 2102. And then I'll take this to reduce some confusion, stick back to our original level at 2067 to 2138. And our demand has not changed on the Russell. For those of you who trade the IWM, it's the same thing. 1887 to 1847. Now moving on to earnings, started with Monday. We got cries. Demand zone is going to be 115.99 to 107.54. Next company I got for you is Tyson Foods. So on the demand side, it's going to be 56.44 to 55.14, and on the supply side, 63.97 and 66.77. Next company I got for you is Berkshire Hathaway. Again, this level has held previously, so 398.94 to 391.8 or 80. And on supply side, 414.11 to 419.34. Be mindful that Berkshire Hathaway is like the S&P 500 and moves in with it. So there can be a possibility, as you can see, we close into this demand. Either this will hold and we'll go back up, or we'll hit our next level. So be mindful of that at the beginning of the week. Well, Berkshire has earnings in the morning, so don't be surprised that there'll be little to no movement. Next company I have for you is AMR. On the demand side, 280.67 to 271.46, and on the supply side, 372.80 to 396.99. Next company, Fresh Pets. This is the zone that exactly worked for us last earnings. Just in case it doesn't work again, I know some of you took that trade. There's another level right on top of this level. They have earnings in the morning, so you should be able to make a decision first thing in the morning. And that level is going to be 120.37 to 132.44. And on the demand side, we got 90.37 to 82.06. Next company is PLTR. And on the demand side, we got 17.63 to 15.64. On the supply side, 31.77 to 33.88. Next company is O Realty. So on the supply side, 58.51 to 60.26. That level has worked. Be mindful this level has worked twice. And on the demand side, we got 45.35 to 43.42. Last company for Monday is Microchips. So this is the level that's been holding microchips. It's 93.43 to 94.74, and on the demand side, 76.89 to 73.59. Be mindful that this level has worked multiple times. As you can see, every time we come to this level, it falls once, twice, three, four times. So this may be the catalyst of earnings that shoot us through. So be mindful of that in the event you decide to place a trade on microchips. Moving on to Tuesday, starting with the big old mouse, Disney. So as you can see, this is the level that's been holding Disney. That's going to be 119.61 to 126.52. In the event of an overshoot, you got another level here at 129.18 to 134.01. And on the demand side, we got 96.71 to 92.71. Next company is going to be Datadog. Datadog on the demand side, we got 112.08 to 108.32. And on the supply side, we got 147.95 to 159.11. Next company, good old Crocs. The most ugliest sandals that they have out there. 109.63 to 104.77. And on the supply side, 143.37 and 151.68. It made a huge comeback from being down all the way down to $14 earlier this year. Next company I have for you is Rockwell Automation. On the demand side, 259.29 to 251.92. On the supply side, 316 to 307.83. Next company is Rivian. I know good old King likes to trade this, so good luck with you trading this week. On this, no demand as this low was 826. I'm gonna see if we rebound and see if we can take it back up to 1470 to 1709. Next company is ANET. On the demand side, we got 223.45 to 203.32. On the supply side, 285.85 to 307.82. Next company is Upstart. As you can see, this is the level that's been holding Upstart. In the event of an overshoot to the downside, while we have this 2185 to 1975, you also have a 1415 to 1118. And on the supply side, we got 4338 to 4952. Next company is Oxy. Warren Buffett earlier this year invested a lot of money into this company. For those of you who are not aware, this company has held this level, and that level is 5670 to 51. In the event of an overshoot, be a great opportunity to get this company at $43 to 36.68. And on the supply side, 76.53 to 83.45. Next company I have for you is Twilio. On the demand side, 47.43 to 44.98. And on the supply side, 75.41 to 78.10. Moving on to Wednesday, starting with Uber. No supply on Uber. The first demand zone I have for you is 58.92 to 57.14. Even though Uber reports on Wednesday, Lyft reports on Tuesday. So you might want to look at Tuesday results on Lyft to see if it has any comparison with Uber for the following day on Wednesday. Next company is Shop. 63.17 to 58.87. And on the supply side, 110.11 to 118.95. Next company is Toyota. On the demand side, 203.22 to 196.84. And on the supply side, 250.25 to 255.88. Notice that Toyota's trading at 232. No offense to Tesla, but Toyota is outpacing it at the moment. Tesla just released another vehicle this weekend, so let's see how Tesla performs this week. That should be interesting. We got Hood. Those of you who like to use the platform of Robinhood, here you go. 1430 to 1307 on the demand side, and I have no supply for you on Robinhood. Next company, Airbnb. So for Airbnb, I have no supply for you, and the first demand zone I have for you is 143.55 to 139.53. This level is the one that keeps holding. In the event of an overshoot, you got another level here at 129.73 to 124.76. Next company is the Trade Desk. As you can see, this level has held for us multiple times. That level is 92.02 to 99.45. And on the demand side, we have 71.57 to 66.56. Next company is AppLovin. Last company that I have for you for Wednesday. That's going to be 48.32 to 44.01. And then on the supply side, 80.10 to 86.03. Moving on to Thursday, I got Roblox. And Roblox right here is 35.56 to 33.42. This level has held multiple times. And as you can see, this level on the supply side, 45.99 to 47.21 has held as well. And that's going to do it for us for the charts this week. So as always, here's my contact information. Feel free to check out the website for my schedule for upcoming courses. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to email me. If you're not following me on social media yet, feel free to follow me on social media for updated trades. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, happy trading, have a plan, and see you next week.